Hello everyone, this is Mike History 2, and today I'll be talking about the life of Prince Philip. So I already did part 1 yesterday where I talked about his early life before he became a monarch, and so now I will be doing part 2. So, the accession of Elizabeth to the throne brought up the question of the name of the royal house, as Elizabeth would typically have taken Philip's last name upon marriage. The Duke's uncle, Earl Mountbatten of Burma, advocated the name House of Mountbatten. Philip suggested House of Edinburgh after his ducal title. When Mary of Teck, Elizabeth's grandmother, heard of this, she informed the British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, who himself later advised the Queen to issue a royal proclamation declaring that the royal house was to remain known as the House of Windsor. Prince Philip privately complained, "I'm nothing but a bloody amoeba. I'm the only man in the country not allowed to give his name to his own children." Yeah, I know that was horrible. But anyways, on February 8th, 1960, several years after the death of Queen Mary and the resignation of Churchill as Prime Minister, the Queen issued an order in council declaring that Mountbatten Windsor would be the surname of her and her husband's male line descendants who are not styled as Royal Highness or titled as Prince or Princess. After his accession to the throne, the Queen also announced the Duke was to have place preeminence in precedence next to her on all occasions and in all meetings, except otherwise provided by Act of Parliament. This meant that the Duke took precedence over his son, the Prince of Wales, except officially in the British Parliament. In fact, however, he attended Parliament only when escorting the Queen for the yearly state opening of Parliament, where he walked and sat beside her. Contrary to rumors of the years, the Queen and Duke were said by insiders to have had a strong relationship throughout their marriage, despite the challenges of Elizabeth's reign. The Queen referred to Prince Philip in a speech on the occasion of her Diamond Jubilee in 2012 as her constant strength and guide. Philip received a parliamentary salary of £359,000 since 1990 that served to meet official expenses and carrying out public duties. Salary was unaffected by the reform of royal finances under the Sovereign Grant Act 2011. Any part of the allowance that was not used to meet official expenditure was liable for tax. However, in practice, the entire allowance was used to fund his official duties. Now, as consort to the Queen, Philip supported his wife in her new duties as sovereign, accompanied her to ceremonies such as state opening of Parliament in various countries, state dinners, and tours abroad. Chairman of the Coronation Commission, he was the first member of the royal family to fly in a helicopter, visiting the troops that were to take part in the ceremony. Philip was not crowned in the service, but knelt before Elizabeth with her hands enclosing his, and swore to be her liege man of life and limb. Now, for 6 months, over 1953 to 1954, Philip and Elizabeth toured the Commonwealth. As with previous tours, the children were left in the United Kingdom. From 1956 to 1957, Philip traveled around the world aboard the newly commissioned HMY Britannia, during which he opened the 1956 Summer Olympics in Melbourne and visited Antarctica, becoming the first royal to cross the Antarctic Circle. However, the Queen and the children remained in the United Kingdom. Now, further press reports claim that the Queen and the Duke were drifting apart, which enraged the Duke and dismayed the Queen, who issued a strongly worded denial. On February 22, 1957, she granted her husband the style and title of a Prince of the United Kingdom by letters patent, and it was gazetted that he was to be known as His Royal Highness the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Philip was appointed to the Queen's Privy Council for Canada on October 14, 1957, taking his oath of allegiance before the Queen in person at her Canadian residence at Rideau Hall, which is actually in my hometown, Ottawa. At the beginning of 1981, Philip wrote to his eldest son, Charles, counseling him to make up his mind to either propose to Lady Diana Spencer or break off their courtship. Charles felt pressured by his father to make a decision and did so, proposing to her in February. They married 5 months later. However, by 1992, the marriage of the Prince and Princess of Wales had broken down, and the Queen and Philip hosted a meeting between Charles and Diana, trying to reconcile them, but without success. Philip wrote to Diana expressing his disappointment at both Charles's and her cheatings, and asking her to examine both his and her behavior from the other's point of view. Now, she found the letters hard to take, but nevertheless appreciated that he was acting with good intentions. Charles and Diana separated and later divorced. Now, a year after the divorce, Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris on August 31st, 1997. At the time, the Duke was on holiday at Balmoral with the extended royal family, and in their grief, Diana's two sons, Princes William and Harry, wanted to attend church, and so their grandparents took them that morning. For 5 days, the Queen and the Duke shielded their grandsons from the ensuing press interest by keeping them at Balmoral, where they could grieve in private. The royal family's seclusion caused public dismay, but the public mood changed after a live broadcast made by the Queen on September 5th. Now, over the next few years, Mohammed al-Fayed, whose son Dodi Fayed was also killed in the crash, claimed that Prince Philip had ordered the death of Diana and that the accident was staged. Investigation into the Princess of Wales's death concluded in 2018 that there was no evidence of a conspiracy. In April 2009, Philip became the longest-serving British royal consort, and he became the oldest ever male British royal in February 2013, and the third longest-lived member of the British royal family in April 2019. Personally, he was not enthusiastic about living an extremely long life, remarking in a 2000 interview when he was 80 that he could not imagine anything worse and had no desire whatsoever to become a centenarian, saying bits of him are falling off already. Well, he got his wish. He never reached 100. In 2008, he was admitted to King Edward VII's Hospital, London, for a chest infection, and he walked into the hospital unaided, recovered quickly, and was discharged 3 days later. In June 2011, in an interview marking his 90th birthday, he said that he would now slow down and reduce his duties, stating that he had done his bit. His wife, the Queen, gave him the title Lord High Admiral for his 90th birthday. While staying at Sandringham House, the royal residence in Norfolk, on December 23, 2011, the Duke suffered chest pains and was taken to the cardiothoracic unit at Papworth Hospital, Cambridgeshire, where he underwent successful coronary angioplasty and stenting, and he was discharged on December 27th. Now, on June 4th, 2012, during the celebrations in honor of his wife's Diamond Jubilee, Philip was again taken from Windsor Castle to King Edward VII's Hospital because he was suffering from a bladder infection. He was released from the hospital on June 9th. After another infection in August, while staying at Balmoral Castle, he was admitted to Aberdeen Royal Infirmary for 5 nights as a precautionary measure, and in June 2013 he was admitted to the London Clinic for an operation on his abdomen, in which he spent 11 days at the hospital. So, on May 21st, 2014, he appeared in public with a bandage on his right hand after a minor procedure was performed in Buckingham Palace the previous day. In June 2017, he was taken from Windsor to London and again admitted to King Edward VII's Hospital because he had another infection, and he spent 2 nights and was unable to attend the state opening of the Parliament. Now, Prince Philip retired from his royal duties on August 2nd, 2017, meeting Royal Marines in his final solo public engagement, age 96. Since 1952, he had completed 22,219 solo engagements. Prime Minister Theresa May thanked him for a remarkable lifetime of service, and on November 20th, 2017, he celebrated his 70th wedding anniversary with the Queen, which made it the first British monarch to celebrate a platinum wedding anniversary. On April 3rd, 2018, Philip was admitted to King Edward VII's Hospital for a planned hip replacement, which took place the next day. This came after the Duke missed the yearly Maundy and Easter Sunday services. On May 19th, 6 weeks later, he attended the wedding of his grandson, Prince Harry, to Meghan Markle and was able to walk with the Queen unaided. In October, he accompanied the Queen to the wedding of their granddaughter, Princess Eugenie, to Jack Brooksbank. On January 17th, 2019, 97-year-old Philip was involved in a car crash as he pulled out onto a main road near the Sandringham estate. A driver and a passenger of the other car were injured and taken to hospital. Philip attended hospital the next morning as a precaution. He apologized and 3 weeks later voluntarily surrendered his driving license. But he was still allowed to drive around private estates and was seen behind the wheel in the grounds of Windsor Castle as late as age 98. On January 9th, 2021, Philip and the Queen were vaccinated against COVID-19 by a household doctor at Windsor Castle. On February 16, 2021, he was admitted to King Edward VII's Hospital as a precautionary measure after feeling unwell. He was visited by Prince Charles on February 20th. On February 23rd, it was confirmed by Buckingham Palace that Philip was responding to treatment for an infection. On March 1st, he was transferred by an ambulance to St. Bartholomew's Hospital to continue treatment for an infection and had to undergo testing and observation relating to a pre-existing heart condition. He underwent a successful procedure for his heart condition and was transferred back to King Edward VII's Hospital on March 5th. He was discharged on March 16th. Finally, Philip died on April 9th, 2021, aged 99, 2 months before his centennial. He is the longest serving royal consort in British history. Cause of death, however, has not yet been disclosed, but this is only as of recording. Maybe it has been revealed. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and a minute of silence.